Hello, everyone.
Hello. Happy Wednesday, everyone. We're so excited you're here.
Yeah.
Gonna check and see, Kels, if anybody's joined us. If you have, tell us where you're tuning in from. We'd love to know. How's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling?
See that we're live in the group, so that's all good.
Oh, okay, we are? Okay, good.
Yep. Awesome.
I will check that out. I'm in here, so I don't quite see us yet, so I'm gonna have to.
Now I need to turn the volume down so I can't hear us.
That's right. Perfect. Yep.
Awesome. Super excited to be here today and go through our client attraction system with you, right?
Yeah.
This is all about how female coaches, service providers, or consultants, right? How they can create more income, consistent income, through a simple Facebook client attraction system. Yeah.
That's it. Welcome. Let me go ahead and text real quick, Kelson. Welcome everybody into our Wednesday live. Let's see who's there.
See, Stephanie's here.
Hi, Stephanie. Welcome. I've not quite seen her yet, but I'm.
Okay, yeah, Stephanie, Atman, Kim, hello, you guys. Thank you for being here. In the comments, let us know where you're tuning in from.
Yes, please do. Let us know. Where are you? How's your weather doing? I think we're going to have a balmy 90 today. I think I told Kels earlier today.
That's awesome. We have 12 degrees Celsius here today. I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit, but not very, very warm, but not cold. So it's sunny. It's going to be a good day. It's sunny.
Hey, listen, you don't have snow. Do you have snow? Or
No.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, it snowed over the weekend, but it's all melted already.
Oh my God, it snowed over the weekend. That's crazy.
Yeah, our weather here is super crazy. It can be literally 20 degrees one day and minus 10 degrees the next day. Like, that's a 30-degree variance. That's how it is when you live in Calgary, Alberta.
That's crazy. I think Sheila said, hey, Sheila. She said she's watching from, I'm going to go with Vancouver Island. I think it's VANC Island. Welcome.
Where on the island are you? I grew up in Victoria, BC, so love it when people come in and they are in that zone as well. Super beautiful province.
Yep, I think I've been there. Is that the one I've been there?
Yes.
The one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I know, it gets confusing, right? There's Vancouver Island, Vancouver.
Yeah. I have really gotten schooled with the provinces in Canada since having Kels be my biz bestie. So
Exactly.
Oh, wonderful.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
Yes, Parksville. Perfect. Oh, I love Parksville. I love it. Every summer that me and my kids go out there. So we used to go every summer, but now with my partner, we switch on and off between Saskatchewan and BC. But anyways, every time we go home to Victoria, we go to Parksville. You probably obviously know about the famous beach in Parksville, Sheila. We absolutely love it. And Cindy, this beach, you can go out forever and it's like up to your waist. And it's
I think you told me, you showed it to me in pictures.
I think I did. Yeah. It's a really great place to bring kids. Yeah. So we're always visiting there. I love it.
Wonderful. Well, welcome.
Yeah. I see you, Rona and Barb. Thanks for watching. Where are you tuning in from? And hey guys, what do you do? What do you do, right?
Yeah.
We're curious, what you do, because that can, Sheila, sorry, I'm just interrupting here. Sheila grew up in Saskatchewan. So
oh wow.
Look at how much we have in common, Sheila.
Amazing.
That's awesome. What was I saying now? Oh, sorry.
Yes, tell us where you guys, what business are you guys in? What you guys do? Tell us where you're tuning in from. What are you hoping to get out of today? Drop us some emojis as well to let us know that you're here. Okay, so Sheila's a small biz coach. Okay, I like it.
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah, I thought I saw someone else pop in, but I don't see. Oh, Heather. Hello, Heather.
Hi, Heather.
Thanks for being here. Awesome. Hey,
Oh,
just quickly before we really get going, if you aren't connected with us outside of the group yet,
absolutely.
our URLs, our Facebook URLs are just in the comments there. So please hit us up and give us a friend request. We'd love to be friends, stay connected, right?
Definitely, definitely. Good call
Yeah.
out, Cal. Please, we definitely want to stay connected with you beyond today's workshop. We're excited to be here with you, and we're definitely pumped about giving you a bunch of value, but we definitely would love to continue to stay in touch with you beyond this. So please hit us up in our DMs and friend request us. That we'd love to have you in our community, in our circle.
Yeah, absolutely. And just so you know, in case you guys don't know, is that when you friend request someone, you're going to be more likely to see not only their content, but also the messages. So if you like the events that we put on, right, definitely make sure that you have us as friends because you're more likely to see all the future events that we put on and also when we message you about them, right? So if this interests you, then definitely make sure you do that.
Yep.
Awesome.
For sure, for sure. So I guess we're going to go ahead
Awesome.
and get things kicked off.
Yeah, so let's get started. So again, welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. We're so glad you're here because today we're diving into a conversation that we really know so many female coaches and service providers, consultants really need right now, right?
Yep.
We can see all over Facebook, people are looking to not only run their businesses, but create more consistent income through simple Facebook client attraction systems, right? This is the platform to be on, guys, right? Especially for organic marketing, right? So if you're here, again, just say hello. Hello, Marcy. I see you just jumped in. So yeah, say hello. Tell us what you do, why you're here. We'd love to know exactly who are we talking to right now, right? So if you've been showing up, posting, trying to stay visible, right? Trying to do all the right things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And still not seeing that turn into enough clients or enough consistency in clients, I can tell you, like I said before, you're not alone. We're seeing this everywhere, right? And this isn't. We just want to make sure that you understand you're not being lazy, you're not doing the wrong things, right? You're not bad at what you do, right? But you're probably definitely not using the right systems, right? And another thing I want to say is that you really don't need to hustle harder, right? You don't need to hustle harder. That's most of the time that's not really the issue, right? Effort's not really the issue, but it's more so that your visibility alone doesn't create clients, right? So we don't have the right system behind it to move from visibility onto the next phase in the client journey, right? So today we're going to walk you through the simple path that helps visibility turn into conversations and conversations turn into consistent income. This workshop is going to be approximately 90 minutes and it's going to be really practical, simple, and strategic, okay? And this will be up in the community for a few days. We haven't really decided how long we're going to keep it up for, but it'll be up for at least a few days, okay? So if you need to go back to rewatch it, please do so within the next few days. But today we're going to talk about what is actually missing when visibility is not converting. Okay, what is actually missing? How do you create more conversations without feeling pushy, right? And what does a repeatable system really look like when you want to be more consistent in your business? So here how we want you to approach this session really is to be here like someone who's really ready for clarity, right? Pay attention. You don't need to take perfect notes, okay? But do take some notes, right? Take some notes, all the aha moments, write them down. Any little tweak that you make to the process you have now is going to propel you forward, right? You don't need to listen, you need to listen for the piece that really helps you right now and makes your path more clear. Okay. So sometimes people try to take everything in and it gets really overwhelming, right? So we just want you to make sure that you are dialing in on the specific things that are going to make your path more clear. And we'd love to make this interactive. Of course, right? We love talking to you guys. We love seeing the comments. Hello, Carmen. I see you here. But yeah, we want to make sure that you guys drop your thoughts, your questions, takeaways into the chat, okay? Because we want to see if this is landing, if this is what you need, any aha moments, right? That really helps us with also creating new events and new presentations for you in the future. So again, drop a quick hello if you just joined us and you haven't said hello yet, right? What kind of business do you have? We want to see who we are talking to.
Absolutely, Kels, for sure.
Yeah. So if you want, also tell us this. What feels hardest for you in your business right now? Right?
Hey, Kels, real quick, are you sharing your screen? Because I don't see your screen.
No, I'm not sharing quite yet. No.
Oh, okay.
I will in a second.
Okay.
So yeah, what feels hardest for you right now, right? Is it getting seen, getting conversations, signing clients, or creating consistency, right? What one of those? So getting seen, starting conversations, signing clients, or creating consistency, right? We usually fall into one of those as far as the hardest point, right? And then that's really helps you decide like what is missing when you know where you are currently, right? So let us know in the chat. We again, you know, the more pumped you guys get, the more pumped we get, right? So please leave your comments. It will really help us know where the room is at, right? So Sheila said leads. That's awesome, right? Thank you. Jennifer just popped on. Thank you so much.
Hey, Jennifer. Hello. Yeah, Kels, I still can't see much of the comments. For some reason, I can see what Sheila's saying, but I can't see some of the new folks. So forgive me if I haven't had a chance to say hello to you guys who are popping in. But for some reason, my screen is not replicating. So
okay, no worries. I can see, you know, this is the thing with Facebook, like any technology, guys, right? There's always hiccups. There's always hiccups. So we have to prepare for the hiccups.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you for being here. Thank you, Inderpreet. Thank you for being here. He's live. Awesome. All right. So let's get into it. Let me just share my screen now. Bessie, hello.
Hey, Bessie. Yep, haven't seen Bessie yet, but yes.
Okay, I'll keep on checking down here.
Yeah, thanks.
Please, I'm not being rude by looking down. I'm just trying to catch everyone's comments coming in.
Exactly. We're looking and seeing, so we want to make sure. Oh, there's Bessie. I did see Bessie. Hi.
Awesome.
Awesome. Okay, I see. Welcome. Okay. For some reason, now it's starting to replicate just a little bit. So, but thank you for that, Kels.
Awesome. No worries. Okay. So let's start here, guys. How female coaches and service providers can create more consistent income through a simple Facebook client attraction system, right? This is not about posting more just to stay visible. It is not about launching constantly. And it is not about doing more random marketing and hoping that something finally clicks, okay? This is about understanding the path that actually works, how visibility turns into conversations, and then how do those conversations turn into clients, right? And of course, how does that create more consistent income? So if you ever felt like you are doing a lot, showing up, trying hard, but still not seeing stable results, this workshop is for you, okay? This workshop's for you. You're in the right place. Awesome.
All right, so let's start here because this is one of the biggest mindset shifts in the whole workshop. A lot of women think that the problem is visibility. They think that maybe I need to post more, maybe I need to reach more people, get some more followers, maybe I need more people seeing me. But most of the time, that is actually not the right issue. The real issue is conversion. They're already showing up. they are already posting, they are already trying to stay visible, but the visibility is not turning into conversations, clients, or income. So, Kels, the problem is usually not that nobody can see you. The problem is that what people are seeing is not leading them into the next step.
That's right. That is so right, right? Visibility is not the problem, it's the conversion, right? And so this matters, guys, because it is exhausting to keep doing the work and not seeing the payoff, right? Who can feel that? Put your hand up, drop an emoji. We love the emojis, okay? Give us
Yeah.
some emojis. We love it. But who feels that, right?
Yep.
Who has felt that either now or in the past, right? Just drop us some emojis because we want to know that this is hitting for you, right?
Yep.
A lot of you are already doing what you've been told to do, right? We're doing all the things. We're posting. We're trying to stay consistent. We are showing up on Facebook, right? We're trying to be relevant, visible, but still your income is inconsistent, right? And what does this create, do you think, right? What does this create? It creates frustration, right? Have you felt frustration because of this, right? I know we have, right?
Yep.
We have in the past, right? It can be frustrating. And every business goes through ebbs and woes too, right? So this can be a repeated feeling. Frustration, what am I doing? It can cause self-doubt, second guessing, right? And eventually you might start wondering, maybe I'm doing this wrong, or maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe I need to use another strategy, right? Who has felt that or thought these things, right? Because usually the issue really is not that you're incapable, right? You're totally capable. You have the skills, but it is that you do not yet have that simple pathway that turns your effort into real buyer movement. Right? If this is you, just comment yes, this resonates, just pop yes down there. Because this is what we're seeing a lot of right now online, right? We have a lot of noise with what people are saying. We have a lot of information, right? A lot of times you don't need a ton more information. You really need the pathway.
Most definitely. So, everyone, this is where the truth we want to anchor early in this workshop. First off, you don't need to, like Kelsey said, you don't need more hustle. You don't need any more platforms. You don't need more random content. You do need a simple client attraction system, because more effort without structure usually just creates more overwhelm. More platforms usually create more fragmentation. More content without direction usually creates more noise. What you do need is something simple enough to repeat, something that is clear enough to trust, and something strategic enough to actually move people from seeing you to talking to you to actually working with you. And this is what we are going to build belief around today.
Yeah, this is so important, right? One thing that I want to just point out, Cindy, that you said is the middle one here is more platforms.
Yep.
This is so common, right? You try to be on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on TikTok. But really, when you're scattering, you're fragmenting your content out, when you haven't simplified even one of those revenues and really optimize that revenue yet, right? It's going to take you a lot longer, right? A lot longer, because now you're not only trying to really systematize and figure out the one platform, you're now trying to do that on 4, 3, 4, right? Platforms. Yeah. And that really causes you to stall in the process.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So our promise, right? Okay. Our promise to you for this workshop is that by the end of the workshop, we want you to understand the simple, repeatable Facebook client attraction system. Okay. Yeah. This helps you turn your visibility into conversations and more consistent income. So the goal here really is clarity, right? We want clarity for you, right? Clarity. Oh, it just opens the doors. Okay. We want you to leave understanding what is missing in your current path. So like we said a couple slides ago, right? Don't focus on everything, but focus on what you're actually missing, right? What is
Mhm.
missing in your current path? What actually creates conversations, right? And how more consistent income is really built through this repeatable system. Okay. So even if you do not implement every single piece right away, you will leave with a clearer lens and a clearer direction moving forward. Okay. Does that sound fair to you guys? Say
Yep.
yes in the comments. Does it sound fair? Let's see
Yep.
some emojis. Yes, this is good.
Yep.
Because yeah, this is going to be really powerful if you can just understand that there is a right order of things, and that if you keep it simple, it's repeatable and creates consistent income with more ease. Okay, we're never going to say that it's easy, because it's not. Let's be real, it's not easy, but with a little more ease.
Absolutely.
All right. Yeah.
So let's go. Let's go over the real gap. This is the gap we're always seeing that keeps so many people stuck. We're trying to go from visibility straight to income. They post something. They hope people see it, and they want that to somehow turn into clients. But there's a missing middle. That missing middle is what happens between being seen and actually being paid. And that includes, right? You might want to write this down, right? The part that's missing is the middle, is the structure behind the content. Yes. So I'm going to repeat that again. The part that is missing in the middle, Cal's talked about what's missing, is the structure behind the content. The conversation it actually creates, the path that leads people from interest to decision. So if you do not understand the middle, visibility feels kind of random, income feels random, and the whole business feels harder than it needs to be.
Absolutely. And quickly before we move on here, Cindy, I just wanted to say hi to Barbara for watching, Leona. Bessie said yes. So thank you. Keep coming in the comments, guys. Love this. Thanks for being here. So let's go over the simple path. Okay, so first comes visibility, right?
Yep.
And a lot of you probably already have visibility, right? You probably could grow a little bit, but it's really not the end goal, right? So first comes the visibility, which leads into conversations, right? Those conversations lead into clients, and those clients create more consistent income, right? So you can see that this really is a simple path. Now there's bits and pieces in between here, right? But this is really the simple path that you can follow. And like, why does this matter, right? Why does the simple system matter? It matters because it gives your visibility a job. Okay, I'm going to say that again. It matters because it gives your visibility a job, right? Visibility, again, is not the end goal, right? Visibility is really the top of the path, right? So the real value comes when your visibility starts turning into conversations. And those conversations are connected to a clear offer, right? And a repeatable system. Absolutely. And this path here is just what makes income feel less random and really more intentional, because you are being more intentional with your actions, right? Absolutely. Landing for you, just hit landing or comment landing, sorry, or even give us some emojis. We're okay with that as well. I know sometimes it can be hard to be listening, typing, and all of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just let us know if this makes sense.
Yep. Okay, so today we're going to walk you through 3 secrets. The first is the current client attraction structure. The second is conversations, and the third is a consistent income system. These are not separate tactics, guys. They actually work together. So number 1, structure makes your visibility useful. Number 2, those conversations make your visibility profitable. And systems make your results repeatable. So I'm probably going to say that again for the people in the back of the room that might have not heard me.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Number 1, structure makes your visibility useful. Conversations make your visibility profitable. And systems makes your results repeatable. And if you're missing any of these, Kels, your business is going to tend to feel inconsistent and obviously ultimate leading, frustration. Going to be frustrating.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I see here we have Betsy Landing, Sheila. Yep. So thank you. I'm glad that this is resonating with you guys. Yeah. So, all right, let's move into secret number one. Okay. Secret number one is client attraction structure. So super important. Now, let me say this, more content is not the answer. Okay. Unless you're like really not putting out much content at all, right? Then of course that's going to be, but it's really not the answer, right? And that might feel a little surprising because most entrepreneurs right now, they're being taught the opposite, right? They're being taught to post more, show up more, be visible more, keep going, stay top of mind. And let me just say this is not bad advice, right, Cindy? Like, this is not bad advice.
Right.
But if your content does not have structure behind it, more content usually just creates motion, but not more results, okay? So we need to fix the structure behind it before you even think about all of those other things, okay? So that's the shift here, right? You do not need more content. You need more structure behind your visibility. What are we doing next, right?
Absolutely. So that leads us into, so what is our client attraction structure? Well, it's a simple, repeatable way to turn visibility into conversations. And that means that your content is just not there to teach, and it's not just there to inspire, not just there to keep your account active. It actually has a purpose. It's designed to create relevance, open loops, and start engagement. And move the right people into the next step. So when content has no structure, it actually floats without purpose. But when it has structure, it actually builds guys with movement. Let me know if that is landing with you guys too. Maybe you could throw an emoji or there and let me know if that's kind of resonating with you guys as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the why, right? Up to the first secret, and why it really matters so much. Why the first secret matters so much, right? Is because without structure, content can still perform, right? You might get likes, you might get views, you might get attention, but the attention is not the same thing as a client journey. Right? Attention is not the same as a client journey. And that is what we're trying to build here, is a client journey. That is why so many online entrepreneurs feel confused, right? They're thinking, people are engaging, people are seeing me, so why am I not getting clients? And that is because engagement without structure is not enough, right? All of these pieces have to fit in together, right? The issue is not that your content is bad. The issue is that the content is not connected to a clear client attraction path. Okay, we got a thumbs up from Sheila, so that's awesome.
Thank you, Sheila. Excellent. So here, moving on to the how. Here's what structure looks like in practice. First, you want to choose one core platform. Kels talked about that. Really want to focus on just one platform. For you, that is Facebook. For us, it's Facebook, Kels. And that matters because scattered effort usually leads to scattered results. You guys want to master one platform before you attempt another. Second, use those content to start conversations, not just to educate, not just to motivate. It also needs to start some movement. And third, move from visibility into relationship. That means you got comments, DMs, and community spaces. And fourth, create a repeatable next step. Every piece of content should lead somewhere. And that's what we share in our Momentum Hub as well.
Exactly. Can you say that again? Because I think that's really important.
Absolutely. And that's what we share with our clients in the Momentum Hub. Every piece of content should lead somewhere. A comment, a DM, a group, an event, an invitation, a conversation. And that's what gives your content a job.
So many people are putting out content but not really knowing what it does or what's the purpose, right?
Exactly.
Where it's leading to, right? But we need to
Absolutely.
give that content a job. Everything in our business needs to have a job. It needs to have a purpose.
That's right.
What are we doing next? Why am I doing this? If you're doing something that isn't leading to clients, right, then you don't have the structure behind it, right?
Absolutely.
Sorry, there we go. Okay, so we want to take a moment here just to give this some real context for you, okay?
Yep.
Cindy and I, we used a free lead magnet of ours called the Social Content Gold Mine. Okay.
Yep.
And in this campaign, this was a digital bundle campaign. Okay. And in this campaign, we got 299 email subscribers.
Yes, we did.
We got 4 booked calls,
Uh-huh.
2 long-term paying clients that are still with us today.
That's right.
And this happened in only 11 days.
Yep.
Okay. This happened in only 11 days. That did not happen because of random posting.
No, ma'am.
It happened because there was a clear path from visibility to conversation to conversion.
That's right.
Okay. And that is the point we really want you to get here. Okay. Is that when structure is in place, your visibility starts to work harder for you.
Absolutely. And so this next slide is just so that you guys could see a visual depiction of the results that we had that Kelsey already shared with you with our 299 subscribers and those 4 book calls. And then, of course, those 2 wonderful clients that we still have to this day. And it also shows that we had a 37% conversion against all the other offers in that same email campaign. Now, we really, we're not showing you this to flex or to be braggadocious. That's not our style. And for those of you in our Momentum Hub and who are our clients that we get to have the privilege of entrusting us with your business, like Bessie, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
They know they know that we're not those kind of people. We share this with you because knowledge is power. And we want to tell you how important having a behind the scenes structure and a repeatable system. And that's what actually caused those results. So this speaks to having also clarity in your messaging and having a clear client journey. And it was one that we gave our content house a purpose. We gave it a job.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we backed it up with our repeatable system and the structure that we have developed. And that, my friends, really is the power of putting this all together and having reaping the results of obviously having such a wonderful campaign.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Cindy. I feel like that was such a good example of what your visibility does when the structure is behind it. So
right. And just to preface real quick, Kyle, that was 100% organic marketing through Facebook.
Yeah.
The systems, again, friends, the systems that we teach in our Momentum Hub and to our clients and to the folks that are in our membership, that is what we teach. We teach what obviously using the power of Facebook and organic marketing. So I just wanted to make sure that I preface that in case anybody had any questions about that. No paid ads here, my friends. No, not at all.
No, exactly. And that's a really good point, Cindy, is that even email campaigns fall on Facebook to advertise, right?
Absolutely.
So yes, it's going out to our email list and other people's email lists. So that is one component of it. But we also have to provide the visibility for that email campaign.
That's right.
Which was done on the platform, right? So I just wanted to connect that so you understand, it's an email campaign, but it still takes the organic marketing on Facebook to get the traction.
Absolutely. Real quick, I just want to comment. Bessie's so sweet. She said, you guys are amazing.
Oh, thank you, Bessie.
We love having you in our community.
Yeah, okay. That's awesome. Okay, so let's move on to secret number 2.
Yes,
right? Number 2, conversations.
That's right.
Okay, this is where a lot of people get stuck. Visibility does not create income on its own, right? But conversations do. Conversations do. And that is the bridge, guys. That's the bridge that you need to start making, is those conversations. A lot of online entrepreneurs kind of stop at visibility because they don't understand the next step, right, in the system. They don't understand the repeatability of the system. Visibility, right? And then after that, what do you do, right?
Mhm.
They think that if enough people see me, clients will eventually happen, right? And I always talk about Field of Dreams, the movie. So if you know Field of Dreams, say yes in the comments, right? But right, we think, you build it, they will come, right? And that just
Mhm.
simply is not the truth.
Nope.
I thought like that when I first came online too, right? And that we see it repeatedly happening over and over again with the people that we're talking to, is that they just feel like, oh, well, I'm just going to wait for someone to come to me. And that can happen, but it's not reliable. We can't rely on that. Okay.
Right.
So think if you had a brick and mortar, right? Would you advertise your new business somehow, or would you just wait for walk-ins? Right? You would not just wait for walk-ins, because you don't know if someone's going to see your sign outside, right?
Mhm.
Know what that means, what you do, right? So I'm just trying to give you real world examples to kind of make this relatable for you, right? Visibility, again, alone does not create conversations, right? And does not create consistent income, but it is useful when it creates the right conversations, right? We're giving it a job. We're giving our visibility, our content a job. Because income does not come from just being watched, right? It doesn't. It comes from movement. It comes from dialogue. It comes from buyer conversations, right? It comes from buyer conversations. Who here is having conversations with people in the DMs every day, right? Let us know in the comments. Are you having conversations with people every day in the DMs?
Yep. We'd love to know. We'd love to know.
Mm-hmm. I know there's a delay between what we are saying and what happens on the platform here. So we will come back. Bessie says yes. We will come back to your comments after, okay? But there is a delay.
Okay. All right. So let's define conversations clearly, Kels, because these are the conversations with the right people that lead naturally towards a decision. It's not forced. It's not awkward. It's not pushy. Just the kind of conversations where trust is really being built. Clarity is actually increasing, and the next step actually becomes obvious. This is the real purpose of visibility, not just to be seen, but to make those conversations easier and, of course, more likely.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Quickly, I just see Sheila said me as well. We also had Mimi and Deborah hop on that are watching. So hello, thanks for being here. Let us know where you're tuning in from and what you do. Super excited to see people still popping in. We still have a little bit to go here, right? So let's talk about why visibility alone is not enough. Okay. So because people can follow you for months. You probably experience this, right? This is probably you, right? They can like your post. They can watch your stories. They can read your content and still never act. Now, why is that, right? Why does that happen? It's because passive engagement is not the same thing as movement.
Nope.
Okay, passive engagement is not the same thing as movement. If your visibility does not lead people into a conversation, then too much is really left to chance, right?
Right.
You're not being the leader in your business, right? You are just passively sitting by, hoping that your visibility does the work, right? And that is why a lot of women coaches, consultants, service providers can feel visible but still underpaid.
That's right, Kels. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So how do we create more of those conversations? Yeah. First, we create content that opens a conversation. And second, use simple call to actions. Mm-hmm. Not 10 options, not confusing next steps, just clear invitations. And then third, you want to move your warm people into those DMs into a deeper conversation. do not leave interested people sitting in passive engagement. And I want to say that again because that's really powerful. You guys, you do not want to leave interested people sitting in passive engagement. And then fourth, you want to lead that conversation with intention. Ask better questions. Listen for readiness. Guide people toward the next step.
Yeah.
We always tell somebody, we're like, you really want to lead that horse to water. Really?
Yeah.
Guide that person to the next step. This is where a lot of people hesitate, but it's also where the money starts moving.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And I actually just want to go back to one thing that you said, Cindy, and it was about not giving 10 options and not being confusing in your next steps, right? Yep. This is something that you'll continually be working on in your business. And we are transparent, okay? We're very transparent with you guys, our audience, and with our members and clients. I will fully admit this month we made this mistake. And that's okay because we didn't do it intentionally. You just, sometimes when you are not thinking, the steps ahead, things like this happen, right? Where we had 2 events in 1 week and that gets confusing, right? We had people saying, oh, I signed up for this one, but I'm not sure about that one, right? And again, it wasn't done intentionally. We know not to do that. But we're business owners, we're humans. We just sometimes make those little mishaps. But it's not because we don't know what we're doing, right? It's because we just, you get busy, you don't think about things, and then all of a sudden things collide. And that is normal in your business. And because I want to say that business doesn't have to be perfect.
Nope.
Right? You don't have to be perfect. And that's the reason why I'm sharing this vulnerability with you, right? That we did make this mistake. It's not the end of the world, right?
Yep.
And that's the other thing. You use these lessons to learn and move forward next, right?
That's right. These are my learning opportunities. I don't really look at them as mistakes. They're really just learning opportunities and growth opportunities.
Exactly, Cindy, right? Like we are learning, okay, we shouldn't have done that, right?
Yeah, that was a little ambitious. Like that, that's why I'm like, ooh, that was a little ambitious.
Yeah, because as business owners, we're creatives, right? And we're always thinking about what's next. What can we do? How can we provide more service, right, to our clients, to our members?
More value. How can we provide more value? Absolutely. How can we show up for you guys? And that's really important because that is a very high value metric in our ecosystem. So
exactly. So just want to normalize the fact that you're not going to get it right the first time. You might not even get it right the 20th time, right? We're going to make mistakes through our business, and that is okay as long as we don't live in the place where you chastise yourself for that, but rather you take it as a lesson to do differently next. Right?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And if this kind of landed with you, go ahead and put lessons on the chat, or hit us up with an emoji if you've all been there and can definitely resonate.
Exactly. Yeah. Are we supposed to be on the how or the why? Now I've lost myself.
No, you're fine. You're on the next one, so you're on the proof. So
okay, the proof. Okay, thank you. I kind of lost myself there.
I got you.
Thank you, Cindy. We keep each other in line, guys, right?
Yeah. Real quick, Kels. Right before you go, now that you're landed, as she said, it happens, and it's okay. There's always room for growth. And Bessie said, "I know that's right. I know that's right."
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, Bessie.
Yeah.
And, like we said, we've got nothing to hide. I think that's one of the things that I appreciate about our business model, something that we feel very, 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 very close to, and something that we hold dear to our heart is transparency. And the folks in our membership, we show them everything. We tell them everything. We're like, hey, this happened to us. We don't want this to happen to you. But we can definitely share what we've learned so that you can, learn from some of our growth opportunities, and hopefully you'll be able to circumvent that in the future when you're establishing your own process.
Exactly.
Thank you, Bessie. Love that.
So this is what happens when visibility leads into the right conversations. Okay.
Right.
Our very first small group challenge, we had 17 people say yes. Okay. So this is our first small group challenge. 17 people said yes. 5 people out of that showed up, which is actually really good. Okay. If you know conversion rates for events, it's usually around 10%. People show up to people that actually sign up. Okay. And that's good to know for your guys' future events, right? So you're like, oh my God, like 20 people signed up, but only, like we get stuck in the people that didn't show up, right? But this is totally normal. But out of that, again, 2 became long-term clients. Okay. And that created a 40% attendee to client conversion rate.
That's right.
Right? Like that is powerful. Think of that, especially when I just told you that the average show up rate is 10%. And then from there, the conversion rate is even lower, right? So super important. And I'll even put this in kind of real context. And Cindy and I were just talking about this week, right? Where we can have like 100 people sign up for an event, right? The average, if we go by industry standards, would be that 10%, 10 people show up, right? And then maybe make 1 sale from those 10 people, right? Again, this doesn't mean you can't do more than that. This is just a average of what the industry is showing us right now. Okay?
Absolutely. It is definitely an industry baseline number so that you guys can know what that is for contextual reasons.
Exactly, right? And so that's why us telling you, like the 40%, you can do better than that 10%, right? We had that 40% conversion there. So that is super powerful, just knowing that in itself, because it shows that when the right people are moved into the right conversations, conversion really becomes much easier, right? And that's the shift, guys. That's the shift right there. You do not need more visibility for the sake of visibility, right? We need to give it a job. We need more of the right conversations.
Absolutely. So here is, again, just another illustrative infographic for you guys to see the results that Kels just spoke to. When 17 people said yes, 5 showed up, and 2 became, of course, our long-term paying clients, which, as Kels alluded to and just shared, that was a 40% attendee to client conversion rate. And I'm so glad that we have this this infographic here, Kels, to show, because I think that's powerful to be able to be that transparent and show what's possible in your business.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is also showing you guys, take note of this. We are tracking our stuff, right? You can see these are all spreadsheets, right? We track what we're doing. And
That's
what
right.
does that help? That helps you fill in the gaps that didn't go perfectly, right?
Yep.
No event goes perfectly. None, right? Even the most famous people that hold events, Tony Robbins, those kind of people, right? Do you think that their events go perfect? No, they are every time analyzing and looking at the data, right? Looking at what worked, what didn't work. How can I tweak it to make it better next time?
That's right.
That's why this tracking is so important, right?
Yep. The data you cannot. That's right, Kels, because I was just going to say you cannot dispute the data, and you can't improve what you don't measure.
That's right. I love that. Say that again.
You can't improve what you don't measure, and you can never dispute the data.
Exactly.
I mean, we're big number people in our business. Kelsey knows I love looking at some data. We start talking data and some numbers, I'm here for it.
Absolutely.
I get all excited. Sometimes she gets excited talking about DMs. I hear you, gals. I love DMs as well. But I like looking at reporting. Looking at metrics, because again, I like looking at the signals that our business is telling us.
That's right.
And that's what it is. And really, guys, this is just the power of the shift when you don't need more visibility, you actually need those right conversations. And that's how to get to like a 40% attendee to client conversion rate.
Exactly. Okay, let's move on to secret number 3, right? this is where everything becomes sustainable. Okay, everything becomes sustainable. Consistent income does not come from random efforts, right? If we're all
No.
over the place, we're not going to create anything from that. But it comes from a repeatable system, doing the same thing. So many people say, and I'm sure you guys have heard this before, is that if you're bored in your business, you're doing it right, because you are repeating the same things, which can, get a little tiresome when you're doing the same things. But remember, we're also improving as we go too, right? So there's always something to learn, always something to improve on. But I just wanted you guys to understand that it's just super important to have that repeatable system that's easy to do, right? And that you're not just one week you're doing all your content in the morning, and the next week you're doing your content in the evening, and you don't have time to respond to conversations because you put your content out too late, so on and so forth, right? That's why this repeatable system is super, super important, right? And a lot of women like us, right, are living in reaction mode. They're living in reaction mode. They post when they have time, like I said, right? It's kind of all over the place. They promote when money feels tight instead of being consistent with the promotion, which creates consistent income. And then they follow up just when they remember, right? We want to be intentional about our follow-up, right? And then they start over again when things slow down. Right? And you kind of, because it wasn't a repeatable system, you're like, what did I do last time that worked? What did I do? What didn't I do? Right? You don't have the structure, so you don't remember how you came to either that result or why it didn't work. Right? So it's super important that we're not starting over again every time, that we're just repeating the same actions. And that can create, when we're doing things and starting things over and over again, it can create occasional wins, right? But it's not stable. It's not stable. And what creates consistent income is the repeatability. It's the repeatability of these actions.
100%, Kel. So a consistent income system is a repeatable path from content to conversation to client. I'm going to say that again. A consistent income system is a repeatable path from content to conversation to client. That's it. Not a giant complicated funnel, not a huge machine, not something overwhelming, just a simple repeatable path that moves people through your world in a way that builds trust and leads to decisions. And this is what turns occasional wins, gals, into something that's actually more dependable.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is what random marketing really usually looks like, right? Like we mentioned before, it will look like posting when you have time, right? It is promoting when money feels tight. Following up when you remember, and then starting over every single month. Right? Now you can imagine if this is you know that this pattern is exhausting. Right? If this is you, it's probably exhausting. And more importantly, it trains your business to stay inconsistent. Right? Let me say that again. More importantly, it trains your business to stay inconsistent. And that is not what we want, because random effort really creates random results, right? It's like, trying to lose weight. If you eat well one week and eat horrible the next week, you're not going to get the results that you want. Right? We have to be intentional and stay consistent. And if you want income you can trust on, right? You need actions that you can repeat. I'm going to say that
again. Say that again. That's good.
If you want income you can trust coming in, you need actions you can repeat.
That's amazing. That's for sure. So what does a more consistent income system actually include? So it's one clear offer, one simple visibility path, one conversation flow, and one repeatable weekly rhythm. This is what makes the business actually calmer, Kels, because now you know what you're inviting people into and how they find you. and how the conversation moves and what you repeat every week. This is actually how trust compounds, and that is how conversations compound, and that is actually how income becomes more consistent.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We want compounding efforts, right? If we're doing it over and over again, just like interest on your investments, right? It compounds, right?
Yep,
We need that same thing, right?
that's right.
So this is what our results already have shown you, right? A
Mhm.
clear path created leads, calls, and long-term clients,
That's right.
right? That is the power of the system,
Mhm.
right? And it's not because it's fancy, right? We didn't make it all fancy. It's because it was clear and repeatable.
Mhm.
Okay. And when the path is clear, the business becomes easier to trust and easier to sustain, right? When the path is clear, the business becomes easier to trust and easier to sustain. Who here wants a sustainable business,
I
right?
know.
Put your hands up, right?
Yeah.
Put your
An
hands up.
emoji.
Give us some emojis. Of course, everyone wants a business that's sustainable, right?
100%. Or just drop a 100 in there in the comments.
Yeah.
Okay. So now this is where all this comes together. The three secrets obviously do not work in isolation. They actually multiply each other. So when your structure is dialed in, your visibility starts leading somewhere.
Mhm.
So when your conversations are working, your visibility starts turning into buyer movement. And when your system is in place, those conversations stop feeling random. So this is not three disconnected ideas, guys. It's actually one system. Structure supports conversations, conversations support income, and the system makes the whole thing repeatable.
Absolutely, right?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Oh, I love Bessie's like me. Oh, for sure. I love. Oh my God, the same. Absolutely. We feel you, Bessie. We certainly feel you.
Yeah. Now, we want you to remember here, guys, is that if you remove any one piece of this, right? The
Yes.
whole system will start wobbling, right?
Yeah.
You have to be consistent in every piece of this, right?
Absolutely.
Without structure, you stay busy making content, but it does not go anywhere. So then what's the point, right? And we don't want to do things that we have no results from, right? It doesn't go anywhere, right?
Right.
Without conversations, visibility just stays passive. It
Mm-hmm.
stays passive. People see you, but they do not move, right? With
Mm-hmm.
system, income stays inconsistent, right?
Right.
And you may get, again, occasional wins,
Yep.
but nothing really feels stable, right?
Mm.
Nothing feels stable. And this is why so many women feel like they're trying hard,
That's
but
right.
but not building something that is dependable. And of course, we want something that's dependable, right? We gave up our 9 to 5s for this,
Yeah.
right? We want something that's dependable, something that uses our skills, right? And we're able to help people. And so the only way to do that is to build a system that is dependable, right? And it's usually not a talent problem, right? It's not a talent problem. You guys are very talented. You have something to offer the world, right? But it's the system that is the problem. It's the lack of system is the problem.
Absolutely. So now let's just talk about the two paths forward, Kels. Path one is the DIY path. You can take what you've learned today, go back through your notes, try to piece everything together, the messaging, the content, the conversation flow, and the system on your own. And some women will make progress on that all by themselves. Absolutely. But most will get stuck again in inconsistency because implementation without support is where things kind of sometimes tend to fall apart. Now, path two is the done with you path. That is where you install the system with support, feedback, and accountability. And that's where you start trying to figure it out all by yourself in isolation and start building it with some guidance.
Absolutely. This is so important, guys, right? Are we going to take path one, try to piece every part together?
Yep.
Or are we going to get the support we need so we can put the right pieces together in the right way and start making that needle move in our business, right? So if you are sitting here thinking, okay, I see the path now, right? I understand what's missing, but I know I need support actually implementing this consistently, right?
Mhm.
And that's where a lot of people are at, right? It's not the more information, again, right? It's the implementation of doing it consistently, right? And doing exactly what needs to be done every single month. And this is exactly why we created the Momentum Hub membership. Okay, the Momentum Hub is for the women who is done, or woman, sorry, who is done guessing,
Yep.
right? And really ready for structure, support, and momentum in their business, right?
Mhm.
This is, sorry, excuse me. It is where you become consistent in your business every day. It's you come here to build and maintain your business, right? With clear systems. We give you practical tools to use. We give you weekly support on our business support calls, okay? And a community that helps you keep going when life just feels loud, right? We all have moments in life where it just feels overwhelming and loud and there's too many things coming at us. So we need that support to keep us going, right? Inside the Momentum Hub, you get access to our business building foundations, client attraction strategies, content and sales frameworks, power moves, which are like our USP training that we just dropped, right? Getting really good on your messaging. So those are 3-day mini trainings that we do. You get weekly support calls, okay? And accountability to help you turn what you learned today into real momentum.
Mhm.
So if the workshop really helped you see the path, right? You see the path, you see, okay, I need to change and tweak a few things. The Momentum Hub really helps walk you through that path, right? Walks you through with keeping consistent support while you're building, right? Building the consistency of doing the right actions daily, weekly, monthly, right? And then ultimately just implementation, right? Implementation, that is what your next step is. So you can join at the level that fits your season. This is a tiered membership, okay? So depending on the level of support that you need, some people need resources without the support, some people need resources with the support, and some people need even more support, okay? And we have all of that in this membership.
Absolutely. So, guys, if you're ready to explore what it would look like to install this system in your business, the next step is really to book your assessment call, or you can deem either one of us with the word chaos.
Mhm.
And we went ahead and pinned our socials on the pin so you guys can see that. So inside that conversation, we'll look at where your visibility is breaking down, what is actually missing in your client attraction process, and what would it take to build more consistent income in a way that actually fits your business and your life. Because you don't need a more random effort, guys. You really need a system that's a repeatable system that helps your visibility lead to conversations, and your conversations need to really lead to income.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And in the pinned comments, I just want to say there is a link there to book a call with us as well. Okay.
Yep.
So that's already there. But if you just want to talk to us, right, just send us a DM. We can talk it out, right, and let you know. We want to help you find where the best fit is for you. Okay. So we need to know a little bit more about you, so we know what would be beneficial for you to move forward, right? So definitely send us a DM with the word chaos, or just start a conversation with us, or book that appointment with the link in the comments, and we would be really happy to just help you go through that process. And this is no pressure, guys. This is not pressure, but we're going to show you what your business actually needs, right? Because we can say all of this in the workshop generally, but we can actually, when we talk to you, we can get more specific, right? Because every business is slightly different. And so you have to tweak things accordingly, right? And it depends on where you are. Where are you right now? And where do you want to go, right? So really just book that call, no pressure. We will help guide you on what the next best step for you is. Okay.
Oh my goodness. I've got to read this to you, Kels, our sweet Bessie. We just love her. She said, truly the best. We love having an our Momentum Hub membership. And just to give you guys context, and she said, truly the best decision I ever made for my business. Such amazing support. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
That. Thank you so much, Bessie. We just love you and love having you in our community. We do.
This is one of our newest members as well.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So for you to be able to say that, Betsy, at this stage is truly rewarding for us. So thank you for saying that.
Yes, thank you. We so appreciate it. So kind.
Yeah. So now we're moving. Oh, sorry. Nope, this is you.
No, you're good. You're good. We're just like, look at the question. We just wanted to see if there's any, this is a time where we had some Q&A. We wanted to leave it open for some Q&A. If anybody has any questions, let's drop them in the comments. I'm looking right now to see if there are anything in here, gals.
Okay. Sounds good. We're just going to wait a little bit because like we said, we know there's a delay, right? So we want to make sure if you guys have any questions, just drop them down. We're more than happy. We actually got done this workshop ahead of schedule.
Yay.
Is amazing, right?
Love it. Almost, Kels, because we definitely wanted to, for sure, almost done. I think we got one more slide and then we're just about done.
Yeah, absolutely. So hold on a second. We did want to cover some of the common questions that come up in that we've had come up for people, right? So let me just hold on a second here. Because there is obviously every time we do an event like this, there's common questions that always get asked, right?
Yeah.
And we really want to address that because it's super important for you to know, because if they had those questions, you might also have some of these questions, right? So, so let us know in the comments. I see Lori actually just jumped on, and I'm sorry you're catching the end of our presentation.
Almost, just about.
Yeah, but definitely go back, watch the replay. Let us know if you have any questions, okay? So one of the questions that people will ask is, I'm posting, but nobody is engaging. What should I do, right? So this is really common. And the answer is that usually points to a structure issue. Right? Not really a consistency issue. It's more of a structure issue. So if you are posting and nobody is engaging, it does not automatically mean that you need to post more. It usually means one of three things, right? Is that your content is not specific enough, which we actually get into the event that we just dropped on Monday, right? It's all about tightening messaging and making sure you're speaking to your ideal client, right? And if you're interested in that, let us know. Just drop Minnie in the comments, and we will share that out with you. But the other things are, so it's usually that your content's not specific enough. Your content is not opening a conversation, right? It's not opening a conversation, and your content is not speaking directly to your real buyer's problem clear enough.
Right.
Okay. So again, these are all things actually that we cover in the event that we dropped on Monday. So if you're interested in getting your positioning, your USP, your messaging, DMs, that kind of stuff really clear, I would really suggest that you just drop Minnie down and we'll share that information with you. Now, another question that we get all the time is, what if I do not have a big audience? I am
That's right.
happy to report you do not need a big audience, right? You do not need a huge audience to create clients. You just need the right people seeing the right message and moving into the right conversations. Okay? You just need the right people seeing your message and moving into the right conversations. There's really a lot of women that assume the problem is their audience size, right? But often the bigger issue is that visibility they do have is not really leading anywhere, right? So we're always thinking, what is that client journey? What do I want them to do next? If you don't know what you want them to do next, they will not understand what to do next, right? Another question we get often is, what if Facebook feels slow for me? Right? What if Facebook feels slow for me? And that can happen, right? But slow does not always mean wrong. Okay? Slow does not always mean wrong. Sometimes slow means the path is just not clear enough. It's not clear enough, right? We need to work on how we're speaking to our ideal clients. Are we talking to them in coachy language? Or are we using their real language, right? Have we tested how they actually talk about their problems, right?
Mhm.
Talk to people to say, where's your what's the word I'm looking for? Totally drawing a blank. Where's your problem? Where are you struggling? That's what I was trying to say. Sorry. Where are you struggling right now? Right? Have we talked to people? Have we recorded exactly how they repeat it back to you, what their problem is? We need to know that exact language, right? So I would not assume that Facebook is the problem first, really, right? What I would look at is the messaging clear, right? Are my posts opening conversations? And are warm people being moved into the DMs, right? Is there a repeatable system, right? Are we using the same rhythm every single week
Mhm.
to create this consistency? Because the platform usually amplifies the system that you bring to it, okay? It usually amplifies the system you bring to it. So another question, and please, again, if you guys have any direct questions, just let us know. We're just kind of mentioning some of the most common that we've seen, right? People have asked us, so we're just addressing those ones. So one of them is, I get engagement, but people do not DM me, right? So that again is the mindset of, if I build it, they will come, right? And usually that is really just the conversation design issue, right? So what do I mean by that is, I mean that you don't have that follow-up system, right? You're not, either you're not directing them or you're not taking the initiative, right? And a lot of women assume engagement should automatically turn into DMs, but most of the time people need to be led. Like Cindy said, you need to lead the horse to water, right? We need to know what that next step is clearly, and they need to know fast, because our attention spans are super diluted nowadays, right? We have so much content, so many things to really focus on and engage with, right? That we need to catch people really fast, right? So are our posts inviting responses, right? That reveals readiness. Or are our calls to action simple, right? Do they understand what they're supposed to do next? Are you personally moving warm people into a conversation? Or are you waiting for them to do all the work, right? Are you waiting for them to do all the work? And that is where a lot of people are, right? They're waiting for someone to engage with them because they're afraid of being a nuisance or bugging them or being salesy, right? But let me just say this, we have to learn what the signals are in our business, right? And one of the signals to move forward with someone is engagement, right? If someone likes and resonates with your content, they are signaling to you that they understand this resonates with them. They've either are there or have been there, right? So what are those little signals, and are we actually moving on those signals, right? Do you have anything to add, Cindy?
Nope, I think that covered it very, very well. We're good.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Awesome, awesome. Let me just come back to this screen here. So again, if you think of questions that you have after, then please just drop them in the comments. We always go back and make sure that we answer everyone's questions because like we said, there's a delay and we don't necessarily see absolutely everything while we're putting on the presentation. But we'll come back to you and answer any questions. Furthermore, book an appointment. Let's get on the phone and talk about what your next best step is for your business.
Yep, for sure.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm just going to move on to our last slide here.
Yeah, so absolutely. Please consider booking a call with us or DMing us. And if you have any questions about today's workshop, you need some more clarity, let us know, reach out. We'd be happy to respond to you. So, all right, everyone. So I really, Kelsey and I want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for being here. Thank you for showing up with this conversation, for being in the room, for engaging with us, and for being willing to look at this honestly, because we know so many coaches out there and service providers. This is not just about marketing. This is really about wanting your business to finally feel like it can work. Yeah. It is about wanting your visibility to actually lead somewhere. And it's about wanting more consistency, more clarity, and more income without feeling like you have to keep throwing random effort at the problem. So if you take one thing from today, let it be this. You don't need more random effort. You need a simple, repeatable system that helps your visibility lead to conversations, and your conversations lead to more consistent income. And that is the shift. And hopefully today we've helped you see that this issue is not always that you need more content, more platforms, or as we talked about, more hustle. Most of the time, the issue is the path, the structure behind the visibility. We've talked about that. The conversations behind the intention and the system behind the income. So from here, you really do have two paths. Like we mentioned, you can take what you've learned and try to build it on your own. And some women will make absolute progress with that. Or if you are done kind of guessing and you want some really good support, seeing what's actually missing in your visibility to income path, the next step is what we talked about is really booking that assessment call. And that's where we can take a deep dive and look at your business specifically, identify what's breaking down, and map out what it would take to create consistent income in a way that actually fits your life and your business. So if that's the path you want, the link again is shared in the comments for you. And if you just rather start the conversation in a simpler way, again, we just invite you to DM us the word chaos, and we will send that next step over to you. So, but before we wrap up, we'd love to hear from you. If you guys can drop one word or one takeaway in the chat, what is something that was, you were kind of leaving with, or maybe you had an aha moment, we'd love to hear from you. And thanks again for coming. We're so appreciative that you're here. And we thank you for spending this time with us. And we are so happy that you got to take a little time out of your day to work and cast a vote for your business today. So I'll see if there's any comments, gals, because I don't know if you can see them on real time.
Yeah, nothing so far that I see. But I'm sure, like I said, there's a delay, so I'm sure they'll come in. We'll come back to you once we're done. Yeah.
All right. So thank you again for spending some time with us. Keep what landed. Take the next step that feels aligned. And remember, you don't need to build through more chaos. You need a path that you can trust. So until next time, thanks, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks for being here, everyone. We'll talk to you later.
Yep. Have a great day. Bye now.